one of the biggest challenge for startups is to understand that the initial assumptions that you had when you started may be wrong when it comes to scale. One of the biggest challenges of startups that are unable to really scale is not understanding that what made you successful at the beginning would prevent you to be successful in later stages. Why you are small, you would do whatever your customer needs to get business in. And flexibility, adaptability, ad hoc development to satisfy your customer, all that stuff that is very important at the beginning is basically not a good idea if you want to scale. So the first thing is, as a team, as founders, can you grow from maker to manager? That's the very strong challenge, and it really it generates a strong need of self-understanding in the founders. So one of the basic is, yes, are you a maker or are you a manager? If you're a maker, probably somebody else will be able to manage better the team while growing. And very few of us are able to be makers and managers. I myself am an okay maker and a terrible manager. So there is this fundamental understanding of the skills of the team, but it's not enough. One thing which is very important is understanding that your initial assumptions will have to evolve with time and with the model. The typical example is the example of Glovo. Glovo became the first unicorn in Spain and one of the most successful last mile delivery company in the world. Now, 3 times during the four to five initial years, Glovo was on the verge of bankruptcy. And I was very close to that because I was one of the early investors in that company. And I mean, there is a huge learning when it comes to how you should challenge your assumptions. So Glovo was born as a copy-paste of Postmate in the US, assuming 3 things. First one, people know what they want. Second, people are ready to pay to be delivered anything to their door. Third, if we copy a model that worked in the US, there is a very high probability that it works in Spain. Those 3 assumptions were right at the beginning and wrong after 18 months. First one, people know what they want. Well, good question. I mean, depends. If your business model is going after workers that need an envelope to be sent from place A to plan B, or because you forgot your keys at home, you know what you want. But if you're a teen playing on the PlayStation and just being angry, you don't know what you want. You're happy with a burger or a pizza or whatever. So, hey, wait a second. If you were born with the first idea, but the truth is that 95% of your customers are the second one, maybe you're wrong with that assumption. And that has a consequence. Your UX does not work as effectively with the first customers than the second one. Because if you ask me what I need, I will write it. If you ask my kids, he won't write. He has other stuff to do than just writing. So you need to guide him towards basically what is it that he will end up eating. Very big difference. The UX, the experience, the way you decide on the app is completely different. So if you keep the first one to attract the second one, you will fail. So that's the first biggest learning. It is not because you're early adopters or the one that you believed were your beachhead market know what they want, that you will scale with the same assumption. All right? So first one. Second one, if I am the first user and I'm ready to pay €5, it doesn't mean that I will scale with the same business model. By the way, if 95% of my customers, I did attract them with a gift of 1 or 2 free delivery, my business is going to go down deep when this will stop. Okay, so I need to change the UX. I need to understand that my customers don't have the willingness to pay that I thought they had at the beginning, so I need to change my whole revenue model. By the way, if I change the UX, then I may be able to change the business model, because if instead of charging the end user, I charge the vendors, then I will have a way to do that in positioning my vendors the right way on the app, which is a lot easier when your customer doesn't know what he really wants. So here we see one thing. Your initial customer is not the one that makes you scale, and this is not the one you're going to charge. And for that to happen, you need to change the absolute all user experience. So if you think about it, we changed the whole business. Why? Because if you are focusing on making sure the vendors are happy, you need to send people in the street. You need to send people negotiating. It's B2B business. It's not a B2C anymore. You don't attract users on the app with the same people you will use to attract businesses to be on the app. Those are different skills, different people. The whole organization changes. All right? So what you thought at the beginning, people want to pay, they know what they want, and the UX works, those three things were wrong. They were not wrong at the beginning, but they were wrong a few months later. Now, there is a 1 billion question here. Would Global have been able to attract the B2B side of the marketplace without the focus on the B2C market at the beginning? I cannot answer that. But what I can answer is that if the company and its founders wouldn't have been able to change the UX, to change the revenue model, hence to change the whole internal organization, they would have died.